Alright guys, we're going to be reacting, give you guys my thoughts on the hero changes for Season 7 via CarQ.
Spooky themed, entitled as The Rise of Darkness with lots of Diablo-inspired.
Yes, that's what I'm excited about.
Each season we always begin these videos with the patch, so here are the balance changes. Orissa's tankiness is getting slightly reduced because Fortify's damage reduction is decreased from 50% to 45%.
Okay, you can see the amount of damage, like, that's basically maybe 1 or 2 shots, depending on the hero, maybe just 1 shot, but that can matter. But for the most part, I would still say Orissa is what I would be considering it to be one of the top tier tanks, even with just this nerf. So I'll give you guys my review on it so we actually add some criticism to the video. But yeah, CarQ, the reason why I like his videos is because he has side-by-side with the new patch. And, well, the patch isn't out yet, so he's got access to it.
Which was originally increased due to the armor damage reduction.
That's fine. Orissa's still good.
Several patches ago. This particular change is relatively light as we still want her to be an effective pick against teams that lean on crowd control. Ramattra has seen a big decrease in playtime with the rise of Orissa, so they're now reducing Nemesis form's cooldown from 8 to 7 seconds to buff its uptime.
He's
the devs comment,
still good.
This change lets Ramattra project his influence more frequently with Nemesis form, which translates into increased survivability and damage. The flexibility also makes it less punishing if he swaps back to Omnic form early to use the Void Barrier.
I think it would have been a cool thing to just be able to have this kind of like a bar similar to D.Va where you could just transform and instantly just block certain abilities. It'd make him more of a reactive playstyle versus he's kind of more oriented around like poke, but when things do come up, he's able to transform. I think it'd be a really cool playstyle if they actually did that. So instead of it being like you activate it and it goes on cooldown, it's a bar similar to D.Va's defense matrix and he can just transform when he wants to. Again, it'd be to block very specific abilities in the game. I think that would make him a lot more enjoyable to play, honestly, but that's my take on it, and it's just straight up a buff. So as someone that has already grinded Ramattra to Grandmasters, I've also played Orissa's Grandmasters, I think both the characters are still very solid. There's really, I mean, obviously one got nerfed, one got buffed. It's minor.
Actually has no changes yet, but I wanted to update people here.
No rework until the mid-season. That's pretty disappointing because as someone that really loves Roadhog and completely stopped playing him, and every single time there's a Roadhog on one of the teams, it's an auto lose. Like, let's be honest, like, this character is incredibly bad, and Ana absolutely face rolls his character to the next dimension, and he just cannot confirm his kills. This is very surprising that they didn't at least give him something. If they were just like, all right, well, maybe his, vape, it actually cleanses all negative effects around him and his teammates or something. And maybe when he uses his heal, anything that's overhealed, let's say he heals from more HP, it could use the excess heal to heal his teammates. Just something, anything, 100 HP, 20 armor, 50 armor, just something to at least hold us over until the mid-season update would have been nice, because I was really honestly expecting Roadhog to get reworked at the start. We're still getting it though. It's not like they said, oh, well, he get nothing. I was very surprised by this announcement. No rework until the middle of the season. So still an absolutely terrible pick if you pick him. I voted so. Oh, we have a date? Okay, well, he said likely, so maybe he got the secret information. I know sometimes, as I'm sure there's an Overwatch partner group. Maybe he can't reveal the info, but it is somewhere around there.
Depending on what we can choose.
Not till another month.
Ball's primary fire is actually getting a buff where the number of shots to reach maximum spread is increased from 20 to 30 bullets. It does make a big difference at medium range. The devs comment,
so it's a buff to
lets Wrecking Ball finish off enemies a bit more reliably when he's outside of point-blank range and makes him less reliant on his pile driver combos. Okay, going back to Wrecking Ball, here's my thoughts on Wrecking Ball. I don't really play Wrecking Ball, like, at all. So if someone wants to let me know, is this, like, massive? I'm guessing that it's, obviously, it's straight up a buff, right? Unless you're really bad at aiming, and the spread would have helped you confirm a kill. But for the most part, that's a buff. I feel like Ball is either really good or really bad. Like, it seems like there's very few in between. That's just how it is with Ball. If I'm playing support, sometimes it really sucks dealing with a ball that's in your face and your DPS don't really deal with it. And especially if you're not playing Ana, you can't just, like, sleep it. But he gets away most of the time anyways. Okay, so what are the Zarya changes? Projected barrier size is decreased by 15% to match her personal particle barrier once again. The 225 health is also being reverted back to 200 for the
so Zarya just got nerfed.
However, the cooldown reduction they added back then is
what's funny is the nerf to Zarya is like an direct like buff to Zarya, or I'm sorry, the nerf to Zarya is a buff to Orisa, which is like sometimes in the matchup I just don't care about Zarya. I will play Orisa into it because Orisa is still very strong even with the most recent nerf. I'd say Zarya is still like not a bad pick though, even with these changes.
Zarya is using the
because her cooldown is the same.
More often to peel or initiate combination plays, which makes the ability more team-oriented and less self-serving. This change preserves that interesting choice by keeping the cooldown reduced when using it on an ally while targeting her energy sustain instead, which has increased significantly with the bonuses to the barrier health and size. Bastion's Configuration Assault ability no longer heals the 50 armor when transforming. This was actually...
It's funny, I didn't even know this existed. Okay, so Bastion is nerfed. You know what I find more interesting is like Bastion just shreds through. Like when I was playing Zarya, even at like the higher ranks, there's Bastions that will just spray you down, and I was just like really mind blown that they'll still attempt to actually eliminate you, and they can do it. They can burn through both of the bubbles, and they will still melt you instantly. So I guess this is like okay. I mean, to be honest, just wait till it goes away. Wait till his configuration stops, and then go for the push. Otherwise, yeah, you're just gonna like burn through your shield.
Right. And implemented into the game late Season 6 on September 21st, 2023, because everybody's complaining about Bastion, but I thought I'd just document that here.
Okay, this might be like more of a problem, honestly, for, I would say, in the lower ranks, because sometimes you don't have control over your teammates, or even in the high ranks, sometimes people just don't listen, especially like when they just lock in Doomfist and just feed, right? But the thing is that it's really hard to coordinate, like, okay, guys, Bastion is transformed, let's not go in. Especially at the lower ranks, maybe people don't have the mics. And I want to say, the games are always better when they balance around the low ranks or the mid rank versus only like the top 1%. Because if you only balance around them, the game may feel very different. But at the end of the day, as far as Bastion goes, I still think he's probably playable. I don't think it's like the 50 armor is going to like break the character, because that's not why he's like good, right?
His combat rolls damage reduction is being increased from 50%.
Oh, so he gets damage reduction.
It's a very short animation with that damage reduction.
Dude, it's hard
for what he can tank.
It's so hard to do that. So he can tank a tire. Ooh. That is pretty cool, but like honestly, timing a lot of that stuff is not that easy. And on top of that, I genuinely feel like in terms of the DPS, I would consider Cassidy towards the very bottom of the barrel. I think he's one of the worst characters in the game, no joke.
Dev's comment: most damage mitigation from combat roll feels
it's because
incidental.
Damage drop off for Cassidy is just way too much, and the grenade, legitimately, for me at least, okay. I cannot land that thing, even if it's point blank, it just doesn't register. But when someone else does it to me, I could be rolling around Doomfist flying in the air, and it just homes to me. So I feel like hopefully that's getting buffed. Let's see. I should play it out all the way. But the other effect is
Cassidy to be more intentional with his rolls to avoid large amounts of damage.
It's a buff, but it's so tiny. That was it. No magnetic grenade change. No like extra attack speed. Okay, Cass. I honestly want to say he's still probably pretty low tier, because to be able to roll and like have that damage reduction, that's really fine. Maybe if they made the combat roll like duration extend, it'd be a lot easier to register. But other than like getting stuck by Tracer, like a lot of times I just don't feel like I'm getting that massive damage reduction. Or if they just reduce the cooldown by like 2 seconds, then he could pump out more DPS. But disappointed with Cassidy. I was surprised.
The Deep Chill passive is now removed. The Endothermic Blaster, her primary fire beam, the damage per
so they just reverted what they did
70 to 100,
last season,
and it now immediately slows enemies by 40% instead of building up over time. The devs comment: we like the 1-2 combo that Deep Chill provided, as it added an interesting layer for hero mastery. However, in practice,
Mei is still
the
niched.
amount of crowd control suffered by enemy players, while also reducing Mei's effectiveness. Rather than further increasing the slow or increasing the cumulative combo damage, both of which would lead to a more frustrating experience for the opposing player.
Well, it's because the funny thing is they removed the CC because people didn't like CC, and then they added it back in. They're like, okay, we're going back. At the end of the day, I still don't really mind having mix-ups, but at the end of the day, still don't think Mei is going to be a very popular pick. If people didn't play her, they're not going to be like, oh, I want to play Mei now. So Mei is still arguably very, very niche or low tier. Maybe for specific maps can be good. King's Roche is not bad. All right. Oh, I want to see this. Okay. Let me see all of it.
Opportunist passive has been removed, which used to grant her 25%.
Oh, she doesn't even get damage bonus?
Enemies, and it allowed her to see less than half health enemies through walls.
No wall hacks?
The new replacement passive is actually her stealth ability. Sombra automatically becomes invisible after 3.5 seconds while not shooting or using a damage ability or receiving damage.
I like that.
Basically,
good.
Completely out of combat. The stealth movement speed bonus is being reduced from 60% from old Sombra to 45% for the new Sombra, so she is a little slower.
But it does it automatically.
However, the fade out duration into stealth is being reduced from 0.375 seconds to 0.25 seconds, and the fade in duration from stealth is being reduced from 0.5 seconds to 0.375 seconds. It should feel a lot quicker, the animation to go into stealth. Okay, for her weapon, the machine pistol, the damage per bullet is being increased from 7.5 to 8. This is probably to accommodate for that loss and that bonus damage.
So in her clip, it's what, 60? So that's a bonus of 30 damage per clip. And since you don't get the bonus damage from the hack, okay.
Okay, minimum spread is being reduced from...
This is something where I'd have to test to give you guys more feedback on it. I honestly don't really play Sombra that much. I think at one season I tried to push with her. I got to Diamond and just got bored of her. I probably could have pushed maybe to Masters. I don't think I could get Grandmasters with the current state of Sombra. But I know there's supposed to be like some virus ability that does damage. So I want to see that.
Is being increased from 3
but
to 6
wait, hold on. Going back to what he said. So there's no recoil at all. The minimum says minimum spread. So, okay, I'd have to test that out. Sometimes when they say minimum and maximum, you really just got to test it out in the game. I don't really know if Sombra has, like, big damage drop-off, but this could be pretty good from, like, mid-range, so she can actually stay in the fight and actually deal damage. Before, she was just kind of, like, just someone that would just kept on hacking the tank, or if you just hack Sigma, you can, like, face roll them. But at the end of the day, I don't know too much about Sombra, so I don't want to give you guys wrong info.
It's the maximum spread is being increased from 3 to 6 shots. All in all, it should feel a lot tighter and make her stronger at medium to longer ranges. The reload time is also being reduced from 1.4 seconds to 1.2 seconds.
I want like a reload when you disengage,
time itself is actually being
because I usually forget to reload and I'll go into a combat and I'll go stealth and I'll go back into engagement and I'll have really low ammo because I forget to reload. I think it'd be really cool is if you use her translocator, it automatically like reloads if it's maybe at a set distance or duration. It'd be cool.
From 0.75 seconds to 0.65 seconds, but
so it's buffed?
Cancels the stealth when you hack an enemy hero. The cooldown is also increased from 4 to 6 seconds. In addition,
but you get no bonus damage.
Cooldown of 3 seconds, so that 6 seconds is cut in half to 3 seconds if the hack is interrupted or if a non-hero enemy is being hacked, so health packs. Also, the hacked warning text will now only appear when you're silenced and not for the remainder duration of the hack debuff. Okay, Virus, that is the brand new ability assigned to the Ability 1 button, which will replace the old Stealth button. This fires a projectile that damages an enemy.
How much
over
damage?
Time.
Jeez.
The damage is
over 100 damage?
Hacked enemies. So for the numbers,
120 damage.
Damage is only 10. It will be 20 on hack targets. Damage over time is supposed to be.
Okay, so it's 10 damage. So it does basically it does 110 damage, but if the target is already hacked, which I'm not going to do because I feel like that just alerts them. And if I can just get that like small little jump on them, this actually might not be that bad. I actually really want to test Sombra. I don't want to give you guys wrong info like I mentioned before because I don't really play Sombra. But if I can get another 100 damage out, like imagine if you like hit a tracer with that, right? That's 110 damage. All I have to do is 40 damage and she's dead?
4 seconds, so 25 DPS. But if they're hacked, it'll be 100 damage over 2 seconds, so 50.
This could be
DPS
actually pretty dang good.
The same 100 damage. Translocator's also been changed.
And so wait, does the virus apply the... I don't know if you said that. The virus applies the hack?
Instead, Translocator will now automatically teleport Sombra.
Wait, that was... Whoa. Did he sped that up? That was like way too fast.
Manually activated.
I didn't speed it up.
Translocator will now automatically teleport Sombra after
fast.
0.25 seconds from being thrown, or if it impacts an environment like so. It also reduces the stealth passive cooldown after teleporting. The projectile of the Translocator launch initial vertical offset has been removed. So
the thing is that you usually want to throw that thing to EMP, and now it's going to be so much more difficult to like actually follow this up for a lot of like players that may not know certain like, you know, I guess not necessarily rollouts, but like certain timings on certain areas.
A lot of words. Basically, there's no more arc to it. It's very linear, and the projectile speed is increased from 25 to 72, so it should go a lot faster.
Dude, it's ridiculously fast.
The Translocator is being reduced from 6 seconds to 5 seconds.
But because I can't just go out whenever I want, because if I'm like leaving, right, I'm still like within a small distance. I'm probably going to be dead anyway. So I guess they want her maybe to play more around the team versus like sitting very far in the back doing absolutely nothing, because that's half the time when I'm playing. That's what my Sombra does.
to the location of the translocator. EMP is the final change here with some nerfs. The ultimate charge cost is going to be increased by 15%, and the health percent damage is going to be decreased from 40% to 30%.
Decrease.
I think
but she has more damage anyways.
The ultimate charge cost will naturally be higher because you are going to be in the fight longer as Sombra.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Virus, so the build-up should feel about the same, but the nerf to EMP feels pretty fair since she is a bit more lethal individually and less of a big AoE EMP bot. Torb is being slightly nerfed here.
Nerfed?
The gun primary fire recovery is being increased from
0.48 to 0.51. That's nothing. It's fine. Torb's still in the S tier in my book, dude. No damage drop off.
The overhealth bonus is actually being decreased from 100 to 75.
That's fine.
Devs comment that Torb's rivet gun can feel overwhelming with how quickly it shoots.
It's so good.
This change reduces the firing cadence and makes it more manageable on the receiving end. Overload also.
I still think Torb, even with double nerfs, right? We're almost done with this one. I still think this is going to be. It doesn't matter. Torb is so good at shredding certain tanks. If the tank doesn't have armor and Torb just goes overload and just right clicks a couple times, you can kill like almost every single tank in the entire game. Torb, god tier, still one of the best.
Brig getting a tiny buff. The whip shot damage is being increased from 70 to 80.
It's still nothing. It doesn't matter.
That this change increases her proficiency at protecting her allies by rewarding accuracy with her most aim-focused.
It would only matter if it was
Illari,
100.
Solar rifle,
the reason why is a lot of numbers in this game will do 100. But like if a Helix rocket and then she hits, sure. Now there's some like certain combos in the game that reach certain numbers, but if specifically just getting 100 is just really good because sometimes when there's any AoE or other like heal abilities, the extra 20 damage that is sufficed with, let's say, Junkrat or Soldier Helix Rocket, a lot of these are supposed to offset some of the like natural healing that goes on. There's a lot of numbers that will be 240. So this would still be like a 3 like hit, but if it was 100 specifically, and then on top of that another 100 damage, then it would actually be pretty dang good. But anyways, so the Brig, nothing, no change. Wait, that's it? That's all they changed with Illari. All they changed was her heal output, when the main problem with Illari is the DPS. I literally throw the pylon and I don't even heal. That's how I play, and I still manage to get higher DPS than a lot of other players in the game.
Too high, so we are lowering the effectiveness of the solar rifle secondary fire.
Wow, that's a big surprise.
That's it for the balance patch. We have
okay, so that's it for the balance patch. There's more things, but anyways, big shout outs to CarQ. He's the person that worked on the video, and I'm just kind of reacting, give you guys my thoughts, because obviously the patch is not out yet, but he more than likely has some PTR access, so that's how he provided the footage. So a big shout out to him. Go subscribe to him. He's an awesome content creator, and yeah, I like his video since he has the side-by-side. We can see it directly. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below on these new changes. Do you guys like them? Do you guys think these are great changes, bad changes? I honestly felt like Roadhog got done too dirty. That was the one thing that I was looking forward to more than anything, was a rework of Roadhog, just to see, you know, will I have fun with this patch? I'm still going to be playing Overwatch, but at the end of the day, this patch only really had Sombra. That was like the only new thing that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want to mess around with that. But like being like, okay, Ramattra gets a 1 second buff. Like if I'm a Ramattra player, sure, that's like cool, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to play Overwatch for 8 hours a day and play Ramattra. Like that's not the feeling that I get. But with Sombra, there's at least something new to maybe tinker around with, so I'll get you guys some gameplay of it. But again, let me know your thoughts down below. I feel like kind of underwhelmed by this patch, but there is also supposed to be like some new Diablo thing where there's like a legendary weapon that can drop. I'm sure it's probably only for like arcade mode or something, but I want to play that as well, so I'll drop you guys gameplay of that and Sombra when it comes out later today. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.